Hi everyone, and in today's video it's going to be short and sweet, and it's also going to be very useful for most of y'all. Just as you can see on my desktop screen, I have a lot of clutter on my desktop. It's cluttered with Excel files, folders, Power BI files. You have some JPEGs, you have some application shortcuts. Now this might be the scenario with most of y'all, and I'm sure a lot of managers out there would probably have the same scenario on their office laptops. Now in this video, what I'm trying to show is that you can create a folder on your desktop, and you can either drag and drop your Excel files or PowerPoint files, or whether they are folders, into that folder so that they become subfolders. And then we will see, using Power Query, we will try to make a link to all these files so that they are accessible from a single file, and you would not have to look in different places for your files. So let's get started and let's see how we can do that. So the first thing what I'll do on my desktop is I will create a folder. So I'll right click and I'll say new folder, and let's name this as file search folder. And just for demonstration purposes, what I can do is I can drag the PDF file here. So let me just drag a couple of files. I'm dragging some PDF files, I'm dragging some Excel files. Let's drag in some JPEGs as well, and you can literally drag anything. I'll click on some of the Power BI files as well. So I'm dragging all of them into the file search folder, and if I double click and open up the file search folder, you can see that I have all the files listed here. We have PBIX file, which is the Power BI file. We have the Excel files, I have a PDF, I have a PNG file, so many different formats. Now the next thing is to create a file. So I'll open up Excel, and you can see that I have Microsoft 365. So I'm using Power Query in this case. So let's go to the Data tab. In the Data tab, we will click on Get Data from File, and in this case I'm pointing to From Folder. And the most important thing over here is we need to set a path to our folder which is on the desktop. So I'll click on Desktop, and we have our file search folder here. So I'll point to this, click on Open, and once we do that, now it's creating a connection, and this should create a connection to your folder on the desktop. It's showing all the files here. We don't want to combine them. What we will do is we will transform data. Let's click on this, and we should jump into the Power Query editor now, and you can see that it is showing the file names, the extension, the date it was accessed, the date it was modified and created. And if I scroll to the right, you can see that they have different attributes here. Well, this is not necessary at the moment. What we are interested in is the folder path. So we can see that we have a folder path here. So I'll click on this, and clicking on the control button, I need to click on date created because we would like to keep this. And let's click on the name of the file, plus we would like to keep the extension. So I'll click on this. We can right click from here and remove the other columns. So this is what I need at the moment. Now what I would like to do is I have the file name here and I have the folder path here. So I'd like to join both of them. So I'll click on the folder path first, click on Control on my keyboard, and click on the name of the file. Let's go to Transform tab, and I would like to merge them. Let's click on Merge, and we don't need a separator here because we have a backslash here, so that should be fine. Let's give it a new column name, and I can call this file search. Let's click on OK, and this should be good enough. So let's click on file now. Let's close and load, and once we close and load, we should be back into Excel, and you can see that I have my files named over here. It's showing us the extension, the date it was created, and the complete folder path. Now since we have this, let me just save this file on the desktop as well, and I will call this file search, and I will save it on the desktop. Let's click on save, and now once this is saved, since this is in a table format, you can see that it shows table design on top, and by default it's given file search folder as the name. Let's come to column D, and let's add in a column here, and I can type here file search. Once I press enter, you can see that this becomes part of my table over here. So it's given me file search 2 because I already have a name of file search. So let's give it a different name, and I can type in link because we are going to use the hyperlink function in Excel. So I'll type equals hyperlink, and it's asking us for the link location. All I need to do is point to the file path. Let's close the bracket, press enter, and once we do that, now you can see that I have the file path, and since I have saved this file on the desktop, all you need to do now is drag and drop any of your files into the folder, and once they are in the folder, all you need to do is come here, right click and refresh, and your files will be updated automatically here. If you want to open up any file at any given point in time, for example, if I want to open up the PBIX file, all I need to do is click on the link. Let's click on this link, and it says opening the file. Would you like to open this file? I will say OK, and in a couple of seconds it should open up my Power BI file. So let's wait for that to happen, and you can see in the background Power BI is loading. So let's give it a couple of seconds. And there you go. We clicked on the Expats Power BI desktop, and we have our Power BI file open. Let's close this. Let's try to open up an Excel file, and I'll click on, let's click on this file, and you can see directly we jump into the Excel file. Now if you want to search your files and you have different extensions, all you need to do is come to the filter, to the drop down, and you can see your different file formats. You can either uncheck them and click the Excel files if you want, or if they are pictures or PDF files or Power BI files or PowerPoint files, all you need to do is check them, and you can shortlist them. If you want to search them by name, you can also do so. Let's say I'm looking for a file which has the word bootcamp in it. I can probably type in an asterisk and type in boot and put another asterisk. So that should find all the files which has the word boot. Click on OK, and you can see that there's only one file that contains the word boot, and you can then click on that and open the file. Now the best part about this is that this file using Power Query becomes dynamic. So in other words, I have my file search folder here, and let's put in some PowerPoint files. So I can just drag this, drop it into my folder. Let's drag this and drop it into the folder, and let's put in another file here. I'll drag this and drop it into my folder again. Let's come to our file, and all we need to do here is refresh it, Once I click on refresh, I have my PowerPoint files and I have my Excel file. All my files are updated. It becomes very easy for me to click on the hyperlink. If I click on the hyperlink, it's almost dynamic and my file opens up instantly. So in this way, and in this video, I've showed you how to search your files using Power Query. You can just make a folder on your desktop, put all your files in that subfolder, and through Power Query you can just build a file path, and then that becomes dynamic. Just right click, refresh, and you should have all your files in one location. If you enjoyed this video, just try and subscribe, because I would like to have more subscribers so that I can bring in more videos for you. And down below in the link you will have my course link, which is on Udemy. You can click on the link to get a massive discount. And I have a course which is basically on data analysis, covering Power Query, Power BI, macros, VBA, chart animation, and a lot of debugging in formulas. So thanks for watching my video, and please don't forget to subscribe.